Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We would like to have a lecture in microhidro development. My presentations I prepare in Bahasa Indonesian, but I would like to explain to you in English. Yeah. So you can see what I want to explain, but you can also hear what I want to explain to you in English. We would like to develop a kind of technology-based community, yeah, due to Mikrohidro, PLTMH is Pembangkit Listrik, Tenaga, Mikrohidro, and Industri. I think it is a relative same that I explained last week. I just repeat again that our microhidro can be used for electric supply, field enterprise, mining unit, your penuta, tofu, tempe, and so on. Yeah, that means that our energy is not only produced for nothing, but we would like to use for industrial activity and also for electric supply, for lighting, and also for water pumping and so on. The important things now in Indonesia is how to use the energy, to product energy, to create a microhidro from 1 kilowatt until 100, 200 kilowatt is no problem. We can do that, but how to use the energy is another question that we have in our era to develop that kind of problem. Yeah. Good. We know that our energy will be used for several activities like here. For example, for lighting and also for productive use, like what you see in the picture here. Yeah. And remote area can be used also energy small and medium enterprise. Our energy principally for renewable energy development, business community, for increasing the living standard of the people. Yeah. Why microhidro? Why we choose microhidro first for technology-based community? Because microhidro is simple. You know, it's simple. You just stop the water and release and stop the water, and you can close the water due to penstock here. Your penstock and your powerhouse, and you create energy. It is very simple, easy to develop. People can learn. Yeah, of course, should be also really learning, and then also not expensive. It's depend on the material that we use. For example, you can use penstock from wood, or you can also even use turbine from wheel, yeah, from wood and from everything, and adaptable for community. And don't forget 24 hours operation and renewable. So that way we have to develop the kind of microhidro in every village in order to improve the industry and technology in village. For example, microhidro in Louisiana, West Java, the discharge is only 0.5 cubic meter per second, and we have 14 meters. The product of electric is 34 kilowatt, and we can use, for example, 30 kilowatt. Every small and medium enterprise 1 kilowatt, we can produce or we can develop 34 small and medium enterprises. Or if every family need only 100 kilowatt in villages, for one family is enough. we have 340 families. Yeah. The construction budget is not more than 680 million million rupiahs or 600,000 US dollar in 2002, and now it's about not more than 750 million rupiahs until 1 billion rupiahs. So, how about the potential of microhydro? If we look at here, this is our country: Sumatra, Java, and Kalimantan, Celebes, Molucca, and here is the Irian Java, Papua and Papua, and also here in Nusa Tenggara West and East Nusa Tenggara. We can see our country has about 3 millimeter per year precipitation. That means every island enough potential of microhydro. So you can develop microhydro even here, there, in several places. Yeah. For example, people doubt whether in Nusa Tenggara Timur there are potential of microhydro. I was there and I saw that a lot of potential of microhydro here. Even people think that it's the arid area and so on. In Kupang, in that region here, Lombok, Sumbawa, Flores, and so on. So we have also always a potential of microhydro. You can imagine here. Yeah. So this is the king of microhydro potential. I was in Poso here. And I found very huge potential of microhydro. It's not microhydro. I had power plant. People is developing 186 megawatt. Yeah, it's not microhydro anymore, but 186 megawatt developed in Poso by Bukaka. Yeah, Bukaka and Independent. I think it's very important, and it is in one place. If you have a river, and then you can find a lot of places. One place you can develop hydro power plant, in about 5 kilometers downstream you can find again and again and again. So I think we have enough potential of microhydro, and enormous and unlimited. So for now and the next generation, I think it's very important if we develop step-by-step microhydro. Even we have no problem about microhydro, especially for the utilization of microhydro. After we build microhydro, after construction, then you have problem because you have always face about social problem, and economic and village problem. But if you can solve that problem, you can develop everywhere energy, and due to energy you can develop technology, you can develop industry, and also you can improve the living standard of the people living there. For education is also important. Microhydro and education is a very nice issue in the future. If you think about education, for example, Indonesia, some place there are the electricity rate is about only 50 until 60%. That means almost 100% of the people has no access to lighting. You can develop microhydro for lighting first, and lighting can improve the education. And also in the daylight you can use for industry or something like that. The potential of microhydro 2003 is 500 megawatt and installed capacity is 70 megawatt. So due to that kind of microhydro, you have already now it's 430 megawatt. But actually, if you try to find another potential, you can find more than 500 megawatt. Yeah, I think 1 million megawatt can be, because one place in Poso, I told you before, is already 186. yeah, megawatt. Yeah. So enormous potential of microhydro. You can also combine with biomass and solar cell, wind, geothermal. But microhydro, I think, is huge amount. And 2003 we have 500 megawatt. No, I think if we always looking for or look for the potential in every district, every sub-district, every province and so on, then we can find more than 500 megawatt. Yeah. The potential of microhydro can be in river, potential in river, underground river, irrigation channel, drainage channel. If you have a drainage channel, maybe you can develop microhydro. You can also develop in what is EPAL? EPAL is wastewater treatment plant. If you have a wastewater treatment plant, the wastewater treatment plant always release excess water, yeah, and then you can use this water for microhydro. It is very important, that thing. And also, if you have a spring, then you can also use for microhydro. For example, in Raden we have a lot of spring there. Then we can use microhydro. Or we have a lake. If we have a lake, a lot of lake in Indonesia, then we can also use for microhydro or small dam, or the dam. We can also use for that. This is the potential that we can find in Indonesia. Every region has all this river, and the river can be used for generating electric. You know, in several places like in Gunung Kidul, we have underground river. In Maros, we have also underground rivers. Some place in Pati, we have underground river. In West Java, we have Kars area. We have also always underground river, and underground river is very potential for developing microhydro because we have water. We just stop the river, and then we can have pressure. Then we can develop microhydro from underground river. Irrigation, we have a huge amount of irrigation. Our irrigation is more than 100 years old, and in Java, I think almost all of district has already irrigation channel. In Lampung, we have also in Celebes and also in some place in Lombok. We always have irrigation channel. In every irrigation channel, you can just walking through the channel, and you can find a lot of waterfall, and the waterfall means microhydro potential. How about the drainage system? The drainage system, of course, normally it's only in wet season or rainy season. If 6 month rainy season like in Indonesia, the drainage system normally has also a huge amount of water, and you can also develop the drainage system into energy. Yeah. And then IPAL or water treatment plant. Every district has already water treatment plant. Of course, the discharge is not much, but you can also arrange in order to have more head. Yeah, with small discharge, you have high head. So it is same. Whether you find very large discharge or you find very high head. It's better if you have small discharge, very high head. Then small head, big discharge. Big discharge means expensive for the turbine and everything. Yeah, and a lot of spring. We have also spring in Indonesia that we can develop that. Lake, every place we have lake, like Lake Tempe in Celebes, Lake Toba and so on, that we can use for the kind of microhydro. Of course, the potential is also related with catchment area. So if we want to develop microhydro, we have to spend also money from the energy that we develop from microhydro for catchment area development or catchment area protection or for revegetation. Yeah, it is important. Otherwise, you build a microhydro, the catchment area is broken, then you get no water, not enough water because the water is gone because there are no forests again. Good. The potential of microhydro in river, something like that. This is river, and you just make a dam, small dam, and you have intake here. From that intake, you can bring the microhydro there, water there, and in a certain place, you can have enough head. Yeah, then you can produce microhydro in that place, for example. It's very easy. And from here, you get 1 point microhydro, you go down again about 3 kilometers, 2 kilometers, you can find again, make a dam again, and so on, and so on. Yeah, so for example, if you have a 30 kilometer of river, yeah, it means you can develop minimum 60 point of microhydro. Yeah, and it is for our generation. Future generation is very important if we do that now, yeah, and show them that we have started. This is also a potential in irrigation channel. You see here the drop, the waterfall is about 1 meter, or until here can be 2 meters. Then you can have water here. You can close the water, let the water flows there. And in a certain place you can produce electricity there. Of course, you have to go here, there, and find some place that has enough head. Yeah. For example, 100 meters or 50 meters. Yeah. Even you have only 0.5 cubic meter per second, but if you have 100 meters head different, you can produce enough electric from that. So potential in microhydro in the river, we have already kind of weir in several places. Then you can use the weir. The water still enough flowing overtopping here. You can just, if there is already intake for irrigation, you can make this intake more brighter, so you get more water from that. The water for irrigation, you let it go, but for example, you develop more 50% from that, so the 50% of water can be used for microhydro. So never that you take the water is actually for irrigation, you take for microhydro. No, you have to make the intake channel wider in order to have more water, and then the rest of water can be used for microhydro. The other water can always be used for the irrigation system. Yeah. Okay. What is this? This we call underground river. Underground river is very important potential resources, water resources in Indonesia that we have to manage this underground river. Maybe some of you have already going down there to see what is underground river like this. The underground river is river underground, normally in the karst area, something like this. This is karst, batu kapur. Karst area, batu kapur. So we have a river underground, and this river is good, clean normally because no pollutant at all. People don't throw waste there. Yeah, no start some waste garbage also there, but normally it's really clean. And the sediment is also not so high like normal river, because the sediment, the waters come down due to stalactite and stalagmite. Yeah. So you have enough water there, and the water flows down And normally the water flows to the sea. Yeah. The water flows to the sea. Yeah. Like in Baron, in Krakow, Pupuk, and some other beach in Indonesia, suddenly you see the water flows from the downstream, from the tier coming up, like in Baron, you have a fresh water there. It's actually from underground river. You can see if we can stop here, we can plug here with a barrage or weir or dam, then you have water. The water will rise up until certain level, and then you can build here microhydro, so you have enough pressure to make the turbine running and the generator running, and then you get electric from there. How about the sediment flowing? We can also release. We have to have a kind of pipe to release the sediment flowing down. Good. Yeah, like this. This is very nice picture made by Professor Nesman from Germany. They make a picture. This is underground river weir. Underground river weir. Yeah, underground is about 50 meters underground. So people bringing all of cement and sand going down and making weir underground. You know, here the weir height is about 30 meters, and the high about 30 meters also. If you go down there, this is dark normally. But people already have a kind of lighting here, you know, lighting here. So you can see. If you want to go there, you have to have a lighting, otherwise you cannot see anything. It's very dark because it's 50 meters from the Earth's surface. And you have to go down from the cave, and then you find the underground river. Look, you can also develop microhydro here. You have already here about 2 meters, and here you have again 2 meters, you have 4 meters, water head difference, and you can develop microhydro there. And the electric can be transferred out to the Earth's surface and using for the people here. Yeah, for the people here. Or the electric production can be used for pumping, for pump, and the pump will pump water to the Earth's surface, because normally where there are a lot of underground river, this area is arid, dry normally, because all of water infiltrate down to the underground river. So in the Earth's surface there are no water, but underground you have enough water. So you just have a task to pump the water from the underground river up for water need for people living in the water in the Earth's surface. Okay. This is the situation underground river. Here you see situation underground river. This is my friend Peter Overland. We did measurement in underground river to see the contour of underground river, to see the situation of underground river, whether there is stone here, stalactite here, has crack or not, and so on. So we have also to make a kind of survey, not just making a microhydro and finish. We have to survey the situation and condition around the cave or the underground river, and if we are sure, then we can develop microhydro. If there is the condition is very bad, a lot of crack and so on, and so you have to look for another place. Also, for the underground river, normally from the beginning of the cave until the beach is about 20-25 kilometers. If you can always every 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers microhydro, then you can develop in several places. Yeah. The water flows, you should not use the water, you should water only for energy, and then you let the water flows downstream again. Good. Something like that. You can develop, here is the underground river, and you can make here barrage or dam here. You dam here, the water will storage here, and the storage here, for example, 15 meters, the storage head, and then that means you have already pressure to the turbine here. Yeah, the pressure about 15 meter, and the 15 meter can be used for running the turbine, and the turbine can be coupled with pump, and the pump can pump water and bring it out here. Or you can also not always pump, you can also produce electric, and the electric will be used for the people outside here. This microhydro can produce about 200 kilowatt, sometimes 275 kilowatt, normally 200 kilowatt. Yeah, this is also microhydro. It's very important. It's already done and finished. Yeah. Look at this. This is the real situation in this is the weir, underground weir. If you go down here about 1.5 kilometer, you can find the barrage here. Yeah. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 turbine. The water from here flows to the turbine. The turbine is running. The turbine will be coupled with pump. The pump will also pump the water from here and bring the water out here. Yeah. So this microhydro can produce actually 200 until 300 kilowatt electric, but right now we use for pumping, and we can pump 80 liter per second. 80 liter per second. 80 liter per second can be used for 80,000 people around that point. You can read it. One microhydro with 200 until 300 kilowatt can serve 80,000 people living there. Yeah, just we can multiply, yeah, build again and again, and then in the future we have enough electric. Look at this here. The water will be closed again here. Only the water, the 80 liter per second water pump up here. Yeah. So microhydro will be effective if we use the whole energy 24 hours. Yeah. It is good if we use for pumping, water pumping. It's good. If used for lighting, it's okay, only 10 hours and at night, but in daylight, we do not use. Better than we use for pumping for the whole 24 hours, or we use for lighting at night, and in the daylight we use for productive use, for a small and medium enterprise, for small industry and so on. But you need more management, yeah, for that. Yeah. Good. The potential in irrigation channel, look at this here, we have a lot of irrigation channel in Indonesia. For example, irrigation channel Van der Beach. Then we can here, yeah, I can show you, here is about 3 meters head, and the discharge about 4 cubic meter per second. Yeah. We can produce, about 4 times 3 times 5. Times 10 actually, times 0.5. So we can produce 60 kilowatt here, about 60 kilowatt. And you see here, there is small head about 2 meters, and the discharge about 2 meters, 2 cubic meter per second. Yeah. From here we can produce with discharge 2 cubic meter per second, and head 2 we can produce about 20 kilowatt. Here also about 20 kilowatt. So 20 kilowatt is for 20 small and medium enterprise, yeah. 20 places. You can pump water also from here. You couple the microhydro with pump. You can pump the drinking water from the deep well or from the shallow well. Then you have drinking water. Yeah. For drinking water enterprise or PDAM is important. So we can also explain to the PDAM people, you can use microhydro pumping water. Yeah. Future. Here is also the irrigation channel. Normally irrigation channel has always waterfall because you know the geographic normally is not always flat. Sometimes there's hilly area, sometimes land. So some place you need a kind of balancing between velocity and velocity in the river, in the irrigation channel. So you need some kind of drop, and you have a stable velocity or enough velocity for the water again. So I think this is the calculation we have explained you last week. You can see by yourself one by one how to calculate that one. The payback period, you can also calculate here with the payback period. This is the other potential that I have shown you. This is about 3 cubic meter per second with 5 meter head, 3 cubic meter and 5. Then we have almost 75 kilowatt from here. 75 kilowatt until 100 kilowatt. Yeah. This is also the analysis how to develop that. Yeah. And you can the payback period only about 3 years. About 3 years. If we develop the microhydro in that case. Yeah. Here also you have huge amount of potential. Here about 5 meters and the discharge about 3 meters. Then we can produce 75 kilowatt of that thing. Okay. Good. Again, this is how to calculate roughness, and we can also only treat the return back period. Here we have 3 liter per second or 3,000 liter per second or 3 cubic meter per second, and then we have 100 kilowatt of course. The energy per month per year, 1 year is 11 months. We have 7,650, 765,000 almost kilowatt, and then if you sell to PLN, you get per kilowatt hours 1,050 rupiah or circa, and then your income rate per year is about 800 million, and let's say operational is 12 million per year and maintenance 6 million per year. Then you have the netto income 700 million rupiahs. If you can, in the capital you need is 250,000 US dollar, or in rupiahs 2.275 million rupiahs. Well, you can divide it 2.275 million rupiahs or million into 785 million. Yeah, almost only 3 years the return back period. Then you get your money again after that, and the microhydro can be used under 25 years. You can imagine how can you get money from that. Yeah. Good. So I think this is the first start our lecture. I give you time if you have a question, and I will continue our lecture. Stop the